All right. Here's an experiment. I've never done this before, so let's see what happens. I'm on the spot here to create a third position blues riff for you guys. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to give you a little info. Let me play you the riff, give you this quick info on an upcoming Global Blues Harmonica Summit, and then I'll break down the riff. First, let me just get warmed up. So let's get a nice little position, third position riff. I'm using an A harmonica, so if you don't have an A harmonica, this is going to be a challenge. So a lot of people focus on this middle part of third position. Which is a great place to start. I want to give you something on the bottom of third position because it's not talked about as much. So you can find this exact scale. And honestly, you can look this up by just Googling it. This is nothing mind-blowing as far as like what the information is out there is what I'm saying. But then transfer some of the knowledge you find at the low end of the harmonica. So like 4 draw, 5 draw, 6 blow, 6 bend, 6 draw, 7 blow, and 8 draw. You practice this scale to get used to third position at first. But later on, take it and learn it on the bottom. You can do that by ear training. You don't need to always look up tablature. Okay, so the point of this lesson is not to teach you the scales, but I wanted you to hear a bit of it. I want to give you a good third position riff on the bottom. So we're focused on holes, 1 through 6, but primarily 1 through 4. Let's take this little riff right here. 1 draw, A harmonica, 2 double bend, and then practice jumping into 4 draw. If you're not a tongue blocker, if you are a tongue blocker, you slap your tongue on. If you're not a tongue blocker, you would just try to jump it. Like that. So this is a good sort of beginning place for a killer third position blues riff because it's not the same old middle of the harmonica stuff. Kind of like the telephone blues idea from George Harmonica Smith. So let's break down just that riff right there. It's such a sweet riff, and you can chop this riff apart and start to make a whole bunch of new ideas from it. So 4 draw, 4 blow, 3 bend all the way down the step and a half to 3 blow. 2 double bend and 1 draw. 4 draw. Once you get the notes down and you're comfortable with it, you can really start to move around on this. So I'm going to show you one other way to start to transpose and move around with this riff. Extend it, add to it. Before I do, if you don't know about it, the Spring Global Blues Harmonica Summit's coming up this weekend, Saturday, March 31st. All the details are at blowyourharp.com. So if you haven't heard of this, know nothing about this event, it's an online event. It's basically a virtual classroom where you get a link and I teach with another instructor for about, almost 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours with breaks between, and we record the whole thing. So you get these recorded sessions in your inbox when it's done. Also some backing tracks to go along with it. So that event's $40. It's Saturday. Check it out if you haven't heard about it. It's at blowyourharp.com. So here's the riff on an A harp. We did this. And I said I was going to show you how to grow that riff. So here, I'm just going to play with this riff. Listen to how I'm bringing in the full step on the 3. Remember, we're only using the note all the way down. So I'm going to bring in this note on the A harp here, just in case you joined. And how I'm going to bring in the whole 5 draw maybe, and 5 blow, and 6. This is like a cross harmonica riff. You're used to second position. So maybe I'll end by giving you this riff and start to build those 2 third position riffs together and maybe mix them up. So what is the riff? I'm starting on this full step bend. I'm kind of stretching that bend up. You can go as high as the blue note right before it's totally natural. Like, you don't want the 3 draw clean all the way, but you could go pretty far up. And before you release it all the way, hit 4 draw. So first step is that. A harmonica. And then keep going to the 5 draw. And then just 4 draw would be fine. And that's the riff. And if you can start to mix those 2 together, I think you can naturally build kind of a flow for the bottom end of first. It teaches you so much, those 2 riffs, about this position. All right, well, I got a harmonica lesson to teach at the top of the hour. Any questions? This is cool. I've never done this. So if you don't know me on Facebook, or haven't followed me or friended me, you can occasionally catch live gigs on Facebook. I'll do a live stream. And there's just a whole bunch of activity on Facebook that I don't post on YouTube. So you can find me just Ronnie Shellist on Facebook. Cool. Here I am live. Is anybody, it looks like, if I'm reading this right, there's like 17 of you hanging out. Anybody want to ask me anything? Now's your chance. I have an A harp. Anything goes. If I can answer it, assuming. We're talking third position today. Oh, I didn't tell you what I'm going to do real quick. Let me at least just tell you what the summit's about. This online event is going to center around 7 key styles of blues. So from a harmonica player's perspective, what are ways to approach these common styles? We'll be looking at things like a Jimmy Reed shuffle, a 2-beat, a funk and tramp kind of groove. We'll be dissecting what else? A swing. I can't think of all of them off the top of my head, but at blowyourharp.com, you can find it. And we'll be talking about strategies. Sometimes I'll be breaking down a riff or how to introduce a song. Like, you take the introduction of the song, like a slow blues, and play. Something like that. So we'll actually break down some concrete ideas. Yeah, exactly. It's all about the ear training. And we will be giving you, again, some concrete ideas, but also just approaches and concepts for how I would think about playing it, and also how the original harp players in some of the song studies that I put on the website, these masters like Little Walter, how those guys approached it, because that's the ultimate example. When you take an original artist and you say, how did this guy, where was his brain, Yeah, third position shuffle. That's a great question, Gabrielle. So I don't find that it's the perfect first. Man, I wish I could play. Maybe I can. I don't think I can. So let me show you something. Let me see if you guys can hear this. So it's more common to use cross harmonica or second position for a shuffle. Gabriel, but is it Gabriel? Am I pronouncing that right? Gabrielle. But what I would say is you absolutely can do it. And I'm going to try to pull up like a shuffle real quick and just see if I can't give you an idea of what that would be. We have to find like something in B. I want to do it on an A harmonica. Wouldn't that be? There is a backing track. Well, let's do screw it. Let's do E if we're in the key of E. Right? Can you guys hear that? So I have a D harp. Yeah, octaves. Exactly. 1/4 draw. So here's an idea. Here's how you could practice this, guys. I know that probably didn't sound great, but you could sit there and just 1/4 draw if you got octaves going. Tongue right over 2 and 3 and just get the 1 and 4 draw going. What time is it? If somebody thinks of it and I'm like going off here and it starts to get close to the top of the hour, please somebody tell me because I will be in trouble if I don't hit this lesson coming up. So let me just show this first, but sure. 2 pulls on that give you a nice shuffle feel. And when you get to the 4 chord, experiment with 3/6 blow. Back to 1/4 draw. Just to get started in third position. That's what I would recommend, okay? And that was, you had the right idea. Octaves are where it's at. And you heard me play a little bit of that. You know, you can play around. It works. It's just probably not as common of an approach. Well, tongue blocking, most people don't. A lot of people who tongue block do not tongue block, especially the 1 hole, because if they're not tongue switching is when you have the option, like you can block out of this side or this side of your mouth to get a single note. By moving the tongue from one side to the other, you could catch a note. Or, I'm not good at this, I don't use tongue switching. So you could tongue switch, but a lot of tongue block players will tell you that on the 1 draw, they pucker it. There's not a whole bunch of advantage to tongue blocking the 1 blow, according to some of the best tongue blockers out there that I've hung out with in the planet. These guys that are 100%. You know, I'm like a 50. I'm a hybrid pucker and tongue block guy. And on the 2 hole, you can catch it out of the right or the left. It's not easy, but I do catch it. I can catch it out of the right side of my mouth, you guys. And I'm really just kind of blocking the 1 hole, which is, it's still tongue blocking, but again, I pucker that too. But you could try moving your tongue to your right and breathing out of the left side of your mouth. That's my advice. So you're essentially covering holes 3, 4, and 5 with your tongue, and you're getting 2 draw or 2 blow out of the left side. And that's how you do it. Anybody got anything else? I really appreciate you hanging out. This is cool. Maybe I'll do it again. It's pretty random. I don't think I can stick to a schedule, but it would be fun to every once in a while pop on here. All right, my friends. Appreciate you checking this out, and I'll come back and do another one in the future. From Argentina, buen día. Hace mucho tiempo que viajo a Argentina. I traveled through Argentina as a young man. I was 20 years old out there. So that was 27 years ago. Oh, cool. Right on. That's great to see people from all over. And Brazil, South America is representing. That's great. What part of Uruguay? Where are you? What city? Yeah, where's everybody from? before I go, if you're willing to just type it into the chat, I'm really curious where you guys are tuning in from. Montevideo, Uruguay, so the capital. That's great. Is there a blues scene going on? Is there blues stuff happening in I know that I have some friends that go down to parts of Brazil, and I can't remember where else in South America, but there are some blues festivals happening here and there. All right, you guys, I'm going to say goodbye for now. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you soon.